Welcome to NarrativeNook audio tales where enchanted stories come to life. If you enjoy our stories, please subscribe, like and share to support our channel. Enjoy listening.
A loud bang echoed, followed by the screech of multiple vehicles coming to a stop. "What's happening?" someone shouted from the halted vehicles, their voice tinged with frustration. "Looks like a tire blew out. I'll take a look," another person responded, stepping out of the vehicle. After examining the tire and the road, the person's face went pale, and they couldn't help but exclaim, "We're in trouble." The other vehicles quickly reacted, with around a dozen men getting out and forming a protective circle around the trucks. "What's going on?" someone called out into the darkness. The person checking the situation replied, "Can't say for sure, but there's a spike strip on the road. The tire blowout was intentional." Tension thickened in the air at this revelation. The group remained on edge, keeping watch all around. They weren't sure when or where an attack might come from, but they knew they were surrounded. "The group seems pretty alert," Seth remarked, his voice dripping with disdain. However, even if they had spotted it, it wouldn't make a difference to Charlie and his crew. "These folks are as good as caught, and once we get back the cargo, we'll hand them over to the police station." Charlie's eyes narrowed slightly as he quietly commanded, "Move swiftly and decisively." "Got it," the group replied, then charged toward their targets. Despite being on alert, the sudden attack still took them by surprise, throwing them into chaos. Charlie's team, all well-trained, swiftly subdued them. "Boss, we've checked. The cargo's all good," Seth reported upon returning. Charlie nodded in approval. "Tie them up, load them into the vehicles, and let's get out of here." "Got it," the team replied, quickly carrying out the instructions. Once everything was sorted, they all climbed into their vehicles and drove away from the scene. Shortly after, Nicole and Jared received the update. "Efficient," Nicole remarked with a shrug, suggesting that the opposition was less formidable than anticipated. "Everett will catch wind of this soon," Jared remarked, his expression turning grim. Nicole nodded thoughtfully. He might already know. Considering the timing, she believed that Everett should have been expecting the arrival of the cargo. But now that it's lost, and those transporting it are out of reach, having faced defeat at your hands multiple times, Everett's desperation will likely grow. Jared's eyes gleamed with cold determination as he imagined Everett's rage. Nicole seemed unperturbed. He was already furious to begin with. It was better to act sooner rather than later. Nicole was eager to settle past scores with Everett. There were many unsettled accounts between them that hadn't been addressed yet. Jared gently smoothed Nicole's hair, softly reminding her, "Remember, you have me when you face troubles." Nicole smiled warmly, feeling comforted by his touch. She understood that he was advising her not to tackle things alone or put herself in harm's way, but to seek his support and face challenges together. Agreeing wholeheartedly, she didn't want to cause him any more worry. Facing things together felt much safer. Jared leaned in and tenderly kissed Nicole on the lips, a moment so gentle it enveloped them both. Nicole instinctively wrapped her arms around Jared's waist, drawing him close. In the quiet of the night, Jerry hurried to a mansion that glowed with light from within. He took a deep breath before entering. "Mr. Wright, I've checked. The men have been taken to the police station, and the cargo has been secured in Warehouse 3, Jerry reported the situation to Everett. Everett responded indifferently. Upon learning about the truck issue, he had expected this outcome. Nicole's quite the strategist. Quick to act, managing to thoroughly unravel our plans and even orchestrating the hijacking of the cargo just as it was about to reach San Giotto, he thought. How does Nicole seem to know our moves so well? Jerry pondered, puzzled. It was as if she had insight into their every step. They had believed their plan was foolproof, yet they were consistently foiled. Reflecting on it, they felt like mere clowns in Nicole's presence. Nicole's hacking skills rank first on Hunter. Even if she's not actively taking on tasks now, she still possesses the capability, Everett sneered coldly. But we've been vigilant against her. Has her skill reached such a divine level? Jerry wondered if her expertise was so advanced that it eluded detection, akin to moving undetected. Perhaps we've overlooked something. Everett's eyes narrowed slightly, exuding a chilling intensity. Though he acknowledged Nicole's formidable abilities, he didn't believe she was so skilled that they couldn't detect any of her actions. The only explanation is that Nicole didn't personally carry out the hacking. If someone's hacking our systems, it isn't Nicole. As the realization dawned on him, Everett's complexion turned ashen, his anger boiling inside. Nicole, oh Nicole, you're truly cunning. What do you mean? Jerry asked, furrowing his brow, his face paling. Cease all operations, and anything related to Nicole must be handled offline, Everett commanded, his presence ominously cold. Understood, Jerry replied promptly, his feelings toward Nicole becoming more intricate. No wonder he cautioned us about Nicole. She's not an ordinary woman. They had been wary of Nicole's hacking skills, unaware that she hadn't carried out the actions herself but had someone else do it for her. It appeared they could no longer rely on computers for these matters. Everything would need to be done on paper or committed to memory. So, are we simply letting this slide? Jerry persisted. What other option do you suggest? Everett countered, his gaze icy. Jerry was taken aback, his face draining of color as he lowered his head. What can we even do now? Storming Warehouse 3 to retrieve the goods is out of the question. If we've been defeated, we'll accept it. But there's no guarantee she'll be so fortunate next time, Everett stated with a sinister look, his words laden with implication. Please give your orders, sir, Jerry murmured quietly, sensing that Everett had a strategy in mind. After a momentary pause, Everett snorted. I want to test if Nicole truly is as unstoppable as she appears to be. He then instructed Jerry, here's what we'll do. Understood. The following day dawned bright and sunny. Nicole arrived at the company as usual for the routine morning meeting. Once the meeting wrapped up, Nicole motioned for Sean and Steve. Sean, Steve, do you need something? Both of them halted and turned toward Nicole. Let's have a seat and chat, Nicole proposed. Once Sean and Steve settled down, they inquired, what's up? Nothing serious, Nicole replied with a smile. It's about Steve and Sally. Me and my wife. Steve seemed puzzled. Their relationship was going smoothly. Nicole gave Steve a knowing look. Mom checked in on Sally and learned everything's going smoothly. We are thinking, with Sally's due date nearing, maybe you should start organizing your work responsibilities in advance. Wait a sec, Steve started. Nicole cut in. You're not gonna say it's not needed, right? After a pause, Steve chuckled. Seems like it might work. That's better, Nicole grinned. You'll have to be there for Sally's delivery and pitch in with baby duties afterward. Once Sally's back on her feet, you can return to the company. They could hire a nanny to help Sally with the baby, which should work out fine. Did you think of this plan? Steve asked. Mom and Dad are on board too. Dad even offered to lend a hand with the company if things get hectic, Nicole explained. We'll cope by ourselves, Sean jumped in, not completely agreeing. Nicole nodded. I've already talked it over with Dad. Then Sally and I appreciate everyone's help, Steve said, relieved that everything was sorted. We're all like family here, no need to be so formal, Nicole teased gently. Sean chimed in. It's only fair. When my wife has a baby, you guys will have to share some of the company's duties too. Jane's expecting too? Nicole and Steve exclaimed simultaneously. Not yet, I was just making a comparison, Sean explained, a bit annoyed. It was inevitable. There was no need for such surprise. Well, it's good to have plans, Steve shrugged. I thought you were treating your careers like your kids. Sean rolled his eyes at Steve's remark, choosing to ignore it, and turned to Nicole. Since that's settled, let's discuss the company stuff. Sure thing, Nicole agreed, laying out her ideas for Sean. Sean, after hearing Nicole's plan, nodded in agreement. That sounds good, let's go with that. I'll get started on the work handover during this period. From now on, it's up to you guys, Steve said, nodding. Great, it's best to have everything sorted out beforehand, so you can leave without worries, Nicole said, turning to Sean. Any other arrangements you need to make? That should cover it. If any issues come up, we can discuss them later, Sean replied. Okay, then it's settled, Nicole concluded, standing up. Sean and Steve also got up. We'll head back to our offices now. They all went their separate ways to their offices. As Nicole settled into her desk, Patricia entered to report. Ms. Riddle, here are the new documents. Thanks, just leave them here, Nicole said, then glanced up at Patricia. We're going to Martin's tomorrow to take off the bandage, right? To check out the final results. Yes, Patricia confirmed, absent-mindedly touching her cheek, feeling a bit nervous. Despite their optimism about the outcome, there was still a lingering uncertainty until the bandage was actually removed. Don't worry. We've been positive about this, and it's going to be fine. Even if it's not perfect, Martin and I will figure something out, Nicole reassured Patricia. Thank you, Ms. Riddle, Patricia said appreciatively. No need to thank me. Just get back to your work, Nicole said with a smile. Sure thing, Patricia agreed, then left the office. Nicole then picked up the documents beside her and started working through them. Time passed quickly, and before she knew it, it was lunchtime. Nicole, let's grab some lunch? Lulu called out to her. Sure thing, Nicole replied, ready for a break. Putting aside the documents, Nicole stood up and left her office. Let's hit up that spot across the street, Lulu suggested. Sounds good to me, Nicole agreed. As they waited for Patricia to join them, they all rode the elevator down together. Nicole, isn't Everett unusually quiet? Lulu frowned, noticing his uncharacteristic silence. The quieter he is, the more it means he's plotting something, Nicole remarked with a touch of coldness. Her expression turned serious as she silently mused. The calm before the storm often hides looming threats. Ms. Riddle, has Preston not received any updates? Patricia inquired, looking worried. Nicole sighed and shook her head. We did follow some leads, but unfortunately, they didn't lead anywhere. Did you get caught? Lulu's face slightly paled. No, Nicole clarified. They successfully infiltrated his assistant's computer without detection. However, Everett suspected his side was being monitored due to past incidents, so he instructed his men to stop using computers. Everett was sharp enough to detect the problem based on these incidents and adapted accordingly. As a result, Preston and his team couldn't find any useful information. Patricia looked puzzled. If they're not using computers, how are they getting things done? She felt it seemed extreme to completely abandon computers. Now, whatever Preston's team manages to find has nothing to do with our company. Anything related to me is untraceable, Nicole stated. It appeared that Everett's plans involving her were no longer discussed or stored electronically. Ugh, Lulu rolled her eyes. Even without hacking, we're not intimidated by him. If they couldn't dig up anything, then that was that. They were ready to confront whatever challenges came their way, without backing down. He's overly cautious about your strategies, Patricia remarked disdainfully. He's just intimidated by Nicole, Lulu shrugged, her expression tinged with disdain. After all, Nicole's capabilities were well known, even to Everett. Despite this, we should remain cautious, Patricia interjected seriously. Everett's heightened vigilance toward Nicole meant their movements would be harder to detect, concealing deeper dangers. It's maddening. We won't let him off the hook once we catch him red-handed, Lulu retorted angrily. Exiting the elevator, Nicole calmly said, "Let's go, it's time to eat." For now, there was no need to dwell on these matters. Enjoying their meal took precedence when nothing untoward had happened yet. As the sun set, Nicole left the company and saw Jared's car slowly approaching. The car pulled up in front of her, and she opened the door, getting in. "Have you been waiting long?" Jared asked softly. "I just came out," Nicole smiled. But you're a bit later than usual today. Did you have more work? I had a video conference at the end of the day, Jared replied, taking her hand. Though he was a bit late, Nicole was grateful he still managed to pick her up on time. Resting her head on his shoulder, Nicole said, "If you're busy with work, you don't have to pick me up. I can make my own way back." Jared stroked her hair, smiling. "Whenever I can, I'll be here." Even when he couldn't make it, he made sure someone reliable was there for her. Understanding his concern about Everett possibly targeting her, Nicole felt a warm sense of gratitude. "Don't worry too much. I actually hope he doesn't stay too quiet." Resolving the issue with Everett sooner would bring peace to Nicole and her family more quickly. If the problem was resolved, Jared and Nicole would need to think about their wedding. They had initially planned it for a month later, and some days had already passed, meaning they needed to start preparing. Casting a gentle glance at Nicole, Jared hugged her a little tighter. Back at home, Nolan and Lana had already returned. "Daddy, Mommy." The kids waved at Nicole and Jared. Nicole went over to the couch and patted Nolan and Lana's heads before greeting Daniel and Gloria. "Go wash your hands and get ready for dinner," Gloria advised. "Isn't Stanley joining us for dinner?" Nicole asked, noticing his absence. "He's over at Tia's place," Gloria replied with a smile. Understanding the situation, Nicole smiled as well. "Then let's eat." After dinner, Nicole took Nolan and Lana back to their room. "About what you mentioned earlier, your dad and I have talked it over. If you're set on going to Royal Creek Elementary, then we'll support your decision." "Yay!" Nolan and Lana cheered. "But Royal Creek Elementary is a bit farther, so you'll need to leave home earlier," Nicole reminded them. Nolan nodded seriously. "I understand." He was willing to accept this as long as he could go to Royal Creek Elementary. "Nolan, that means we might be in the same school as Nona. I wonder if we could be in the same class." Lana pondered, tilting her head. Nona. Nicole's mind immediately went to a chubby, adorable child. They had met Nona when they first took Nolan and Lana to kindergarten. Nona had taken good care of them. "Yes," Nona said she'd be going to Royal Creek Elementary, "and now we can too. It's really exciting," Lana said with joy. Nicole looked over at Nolan. "You want to go to Royal Creek Elementary because of her?" It wasn't a question, just a statement. Nicole could see right through Nolan's plan. But Nolan played it cool. "One just like that school. Plus, I want to go to Royal Creek Institute later on. Starting from its affiliated elementary school makes sense." Nicole found Nolan's explanation kind of funny. "You've got a point." Even though she said this, Nicole knew she was right about Nolan's real reason. But since he wasn't owning up to it, she decided to drop it. Nolan silently breathed a sigh of relief, glad Nicole didn't press further. "Mom, can we be in the same class as Nona?" Lana asked, her eyes hopeful as she tilted her head. "Sure thing. When we sign up, Mom will make sure of it," Nicole agreed, unable to resist her kid's request. "Thanks, Mom." Lana hugged Nicole tightly, burying her face against her mom's neck. Nicole's eyes softened as she embraced Lana. The next day, when Nicole got to work, Lulu barged into her office, looking worried. "What's wrong?" Nicole asked, seeing Lulu's pale face. "Nando Corp and Dill Corp sent messages." Lulu began, but Nicole's phone interrupted with a ring. Giving Lulu a quick glance, Nicole answered the phone. "Hello, Ella." "Nicole, we've got a problem." Ella's voice came through urgently. "What's going on?" Nicole's heart raced a bit, sensing trouble. "Some of Bay Corp's partners are claiming we misled them and want to end our contracts, demanding compensation," Ella explained, his tone filled with worry. "Try to calm them down for now. I'll send Patricia to help you soon," Nicole reassured him before ending the call. Turning to Lulu, Nicole's expression darkened. "Is there trouble with Dill Corp?" "How did you know?" Lulu looked surprised. She hadn't mentioned it yet. Ella's facing a similar issue. I'll send Patricia to assist him, Nicole explained, then used the intercom to call. Patricia, head to Ella's office. He needs help. Got it, Patricia replied promptly. If needed, let them know that Riddle Corporation fully backs Bay Corp. No questions asked. If they don't trust Riddle, they should trust the prominent families behind the 5 crests, Nicole asserted, her voice carrying authority. Understood, Patricia responded, her tone firm. After ending the call, Nicole sighed. Now, what's going on with Dill Corp? If Ella hadn't called, she might not have linked the dots to Dill Corp's issues. Everett's behind this, hitting both Dill Corp and Bay Corp to stretch us thin, Nicole concluded. Connecting the dots. The situation at Dill Corp isn't dire, but it's hurting your reputation. We need to fix it fast, Lulu said, her voice tense. Someone's spreading rumors online, saying you took over Dill Corp illegally, leaving your uncle and his wife broke, just hanging out at your grandpa's place. That's it. Nicole was a bit surprised. It seemed like a petty move for Everett. It's not just that, Lulu said, clearly annoyed. There are problems at Nando Corp too. Oh, Nicole's face showed understanding. She hadn't expected Nando Corp to be affected as well. But she knew if Everett was making a move, it had to be big. At Nando Corp, some regulators are investigating trademark rights. It seems Everett registered a trademark in his name during his time, and now he's suing us for using it, Lulu explained, clearly frustrated. They hadn't known about this issue. If they had, they wouldn't have used a trademark registered to Everett. It was infuriating to think about. With Nando Corp, Dill Corp, and Bay Corp all facing problems at once, is Everett trying to take me down directly? Nicole's eyes glinted with anger, seeing through Everett's simplistic plan. Do you have a plan? Lulu asked cautiously. For the online stuff, let's leave it to the PR department, Nicole said, standing up. We'll go to Nando Corp and see what's going on. She needed to understand the situation before taking action. Okay. After sorting out her work, Lulu followed Nicole out of the headquarters toward Nando Corp. Meanwhile, Patricia reached Bay Corp. Ms. Riddle sent me to assist you, she said plainly as she stepped into Ella's office. All right, Ella replied, trying to stay calm despite his excitement. Can you explain everything that's happened? Patricia asked. After Ella explained the situation, Patricia said, get me the documents from the companies involved. Thanks. Ella promptly handed over several documents, surprising Patricia. These are what my secretary found while I was looking for solutions, he explained, caught off guard by her visit and their shared focus on tackling the issues with the other companies. Let's go through them together, Patricia suggested, taking 2 of the documents and settling onto the sofa to review. Ella joined her, concentrating on the remaining documents. Oddly, Ella felt his mood stabilize, even feeling a bit relieved. The chaos of the morning's unexpected events seemed to fade away. Stay focused on the documents, Patricia reminded him firmly, noticing his distraction. Right, Ella said, refocusing on the documents. Here, here, and here. Patricia pointed out several key points on the papers. Ella glanced over, seeing Patricia had identified weaknesses in the other companies. He couldn't help but feel a sense of admiration. He had intended to do the same. Since they are playing dirty, there's no need for restraint. We're good to go, Patricia said, finishing up. They're expecting a response from you tomorrow, right? Yes, Ella confirmed. All right, then set up a meeting with them in the conference room for tomorrow, Patricia instructed confidently. These Bayford's partners are only concerned with their own interests, using cheap tricks. But this time, their efforts to get ahead will backfire. Sure thing, Ella said, feeling bolstered by Patricia's resolve, even feeling a bit excited. I'll be back tomorrow. You take care of things for today, Patricia said, having worked out a plan and getting ready to leave. As Patricia was getting ready to leave, Ella impulsively suggested. Why don't you stick around for lunch? Lunch? Patricia looked momentarily surprised, thinking it was still too early for lunch. Realizing the timing issue, Ella felt somewhat awkward and scratched his head. I need to check on Ms. Riddle, not just here at Bay Corp, but Dill Corp is facing issues too, Patricia said, finding a polite reason to leave. Ella was surprised. What's going on? He wondered if the problem was his fault as a manager. But if Dill Corp was also having trouble, it seemed like more than a coincidence. Just focus on your part, we'll handle the rest, Patricia assured him, not wanting to add to his worries. After giving him instructions, Patricia quickly left. Ella, feeling puzzled, summoned his assistant. Find out what's happening. Got it, the assistant replied, heading off to investigate. After leaving Bay Corp, Patricia checked social media and online news. Frowning, she noticed that while rumors were still swirling, the situation hadn't escalated. It seemed Nicole's efforts to address the issue were making a difference. Captain, Mrs. Johnston is at Nando Corp. Things there are worse, Patricia received the message, her complexion paling as she gritted her teeth. So it isn't just Dill Corp and Bay Corp. Nando Corp is also in trouble, and Nicole is there. Without hesitation, Patricia headed straight to Nando Corp. At Nando Corp, Nicole sat in the general manager's office, reviewing documents. Ms. Riddle, our investigation confirms the trademark is legitimate, and we've been using it. However, nobody knows when we started using it, not even the person in charge, the general manager admitted, his face filled with concern. It was a glaring oversight in management. Such a crucial matter shouldn't have slipped through the cracks unnoticed. If the person in charge doesn't even know, then what's the point of having them? Lulu expressed her frustration. The general manager was momentarily speechless, then turned to Nicole. Ms. Riddle, since nobody knows, could it be possible that someone is deliberately framing us? He was deeply troubled, unable to comprehend how such a situation could have arisen otherwise. Indeed, Nicole responded calmly. If truly nobody was aware, then the possibility of deliberate sabotage couldn't be dismissed. So, what's our next step? Lulu asked Nicole, recognizing that assigning blame was less crucial than resolving the issue. First, we need to replace the trademark used on these products, Nicole instructed the general manager before standing up. I'll assist with the investigation. Ms. Riddle, please let me handle it. The general manager immediately broke into a sweat. The issue had occurred under his watch, and he couldn't allow Nicole to step in to assist with the investigation. I may not be familiar with the operations here, but there are reasons for me to assist with the investigation, she countered, curious to see the evidence that had prompted an official investigation. I'll come with you. Lulu understood Nicole's intentions and prepared to accompany her. As they were about to leave, Patricia arrived. Is everything sorted out with Ella? Nicole asked. We've got everything planned. It'll be sorted out completely tomorrow, Patricia reported. Nicole nodded, pleased. That's good to hear. After leaving Nando Corp, Nicole began to instruct Patricia. There's something I need you to look into. Get this. What about you, Ms. Riddle? Patricia interrupted, concerned. Don't worry, I'll be fine, and the chauffeur is here if you're not, Nicole reassured her with a smile. Patricia glanced at the chauffeur, recognizing him as someone Jared had arranged through Max. She knew he was capable of protecting Nicole if necessary. I'll start looking into it right away, Patricia confirmed before departing. Nicole and Lulu got into the car, and Nicole directed the chauffeur, drive. Okay, the chauffeur responded, starting the vehicle. Nicole, are you sure there won't be any issues when we arrive? Lulu voiced her concerns, looking at Nicole. Maybe I should go alone, she suggested, thinking it might be safer if Nicole wasn't involved in case there were problems or an investigation. Don't worry, I'm going to assist with the investigation, not as a suspect, Nicole reassured Lulu. Oh. Lulu bit her lip, still feeling uneasy. This has to be Everett's doing. He wants to overwhelm me with troubles. But I refuse to let him have his way. This time, we need to expose him completely, Nicole stated firmly, determined to reveal Everett's true identity as Lexter Wright to the public. Do you have a plan? Lulu's eyes gleamed with anticipation, relishing the idea of Everett being publicly embarrassed. I'm working on it, Nicole shrugged casually. Lulu paused, then burst into laughter. Only you could stay so calm in a situation like this. She's even cracking jokes in a situation like this. I can't believe I was genuinely worried, thought Lulu. I'm really considering our options, Nicole assured her earnestly. Then keep at it. Hopefully, you'll come up with something soon, Lulu played along, further lightening the mood. As they talked, the atmosphere became more relaxed. The car came to a stop, and the chauffeur announced, Mrs. Johnston, we've arrived. Nicole glanced outside before opening the door and stepping out. Following her, Lulu eyed the imposing signboard in front of them and said, Let's head inside. Weren't you worried just a moment ago? Nicole asked. We have to go in anyway. We need to show confidence, especially since we're here to gather information. We might as well be proactive, Lulu winked playfully at Nicole. Nicole smiled, leading Lulu into the building. Hi there, I'm Nicole Riddle from Riddle Corporation. We're here about the trademark thing with Nando Corp, Nicole said, handing over the papers. Lulu put them on the desk. The officer gave the papers a quick look and motioned towards some chairs. Take a seat, please. Thanks, Nicole said, sitting down along with Lulu. After quickly checking the papers, the officer said, We'll talk about your company's case in a meeting. Got it. Also, we wanted to ask about the original trademark owner. Well, Lulu hesitated, deciding not to mention fugitive, and said, We don't know where they are, so we can't change the trademark. You can't change it, and you can't just use it however you want, the officer said seriously. Exactly, the main thing is we had no clue we were using this trademark, Lulu agreed with a smile, secretly annoyed. If they'd known, they wouldn't have used it at all. Nicole, staying calm, spoke to the officer. We're ready to help with the investigation. We've stopped using the trademark already. If you need more from us, just let us know. We've looked into it. We'll tell you once we decide, the officer said. Okay, then we'll go, Nicole said, getting up. As they left the office, Lulu whispered, Why are we leaving now? We got what we needed, Nicole said with a smile. Lulu blinked, confused. Is that it? What did you find out? Lulu asked Nicole in the car. She wanted more info, but Nicole seemed okay with what they got. It's not as bad as we thought, Nicole said, comforting her. Don't worry, we're good. Really? Lulu still seemed unsure. Luckily, even though we used the trademark, it hadn't hit the market yet. Everett moved too fast. He should have waited, Nicole said, a hint of satisfaction in her smile. But won't we still lose some money? Lulu frowned. If money can fix it, it's not a big deal, Nicole shrugged. Since they caught it early, any losses wouldn't be too bad. When you say it like that, it sounds better, Lulu realized, nodding. Let's go back to the office, Nicole said with a calm smile, not worried anymore. When they returned, Patricia showed up not long after. Ms. Riddle, you should check the news online, Patricia said. What's going on? Lulu, just as curious as Nicole, pulled out her phone. When Lulu saw the news, she was shocked. Dylan really did that. She hadn't thought Dylan would personally step in to defend Nicole. This meant all the bad stuff said about her online didn't matter anymore. Nicole was surprised too. She hadn't expected Dylan to clear things up for her. Ms. Riddle, all the mean stuff about you online is gone now. This should all work out fine, Patricia said. She hadn't even put their plan for Dill Corp into action yet. I guess I owe Uncle Dylan a thank you, Nicole said, genuinely surprised. I'll go to the Riddle family place after work. I'll come with you, Lulu said. Sure, Nicole said, smiling. What about Nando Corp? Patricia asked. With Dill Corp sorted and Bay Corp's problem likely to be cleared by tomorrow. Nando Corp's the only one left, Nicole said. No worries there, Nicole said. We might have to pay some money, but that's it. Who do we pay? Patricia asked, confused. Everett couldn't take the money without revealing himself. Nicole smiled sarcastically, suggesting, we'll pay as required by law. If no one claims it, that's not our problem. You mean? Patricia seemed to get it. Nicole nodded. You take care of it. Got it, Patricia said. Lulu, feeling a bit left out, asked, what's going on? Come on, I'll explain in the car, Patricia said, leading Lulu away. Nicole settled at her desk, her eyes skimming over the papers. With a calm smile, she got to work. As the sun went down, the Riddle family house filled with noise. Nicole, Jared, Lulu, and Spencer came back, joined by June and Samuel. They all went into the living room, where Benjamin welcomed them. Take a seat, everyone. Once everyone was settled, Benjamin spoke up. I've heard about the company stuff. How did it go? Smooth sailing, Grandpa, no worries, Nicole replied, then turned to Dylan. I came back to thank Uncle Dylan. His help made it even easier. No need for thanks, I'm just doing what's right, Dylan said. Helping Nicole was his priority. Dylan did great this time, Benjamin added, impressed. We're all family, we help each other out, Karen chimed in, feeling more comfortable in the Riddle household. Benjamin nodded, pleased, and signaled for everyone to start eating. Let's dig in.
If you have enjoyed this story, please like and share so others can see it too. Also hit the subscription button and notification bell so you can be notified on our next release. Thank you for your support. God bless you.